What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are providing FIFA 22 goodness. We have provided FIFA 21, top of the line, premium quality content. I'm not saying we're completely done, but we are starting this transition, this transcending, this momentum, this build up, this storytelling, the narrative. If you're new, it's free to subscribe. I'm not gonna waffle all day. We're not cooking breakfast. Waffles are greater than pancakes. On a side note that is related, sort of, there's some light wordplay. I'm going to explain custom tactics in FIFA 22 and what I'm expecting, and then I also have a few concerns. If you watched some of my previous content or the live streams, currently custom tactics are too much of a flip of the switch. Touch this here, push this button, rotate. They're not do it yourself. That's a problem. Tactics are meant to help you with expression and also to provide competitive advantages, whether it's personnel, formations. You're able to make these adjustments and receive benefits, or as we like to say, bennies. Let me know your thoughts on custom tactics or the FIFA 22 news in general. I will be using your comments to future videos. So please, by all means, whether you're firing off on Ultimate Team, head-to-head, intricacies, gameplay, a leak, I don't mind. That's what we do here. This channel. Here. If you didn't skip through the intro, you're a real one. I salute you. Thank you. The information that I provide, that we discuss, it's always relevant. I'm painting a picture. I'm a FIFA historian. Some would say you got some of that Picasso action. I go to the museums. If they ever create an esports museum around FIFA, I should have some sort of role in dissecting art placement, key moments, all the above, all encompassing. New attacking tactics. We have expanded tactical customization. Great. That is not something that I'm going to complain about. I like additional options, variety, versatility. I do not, and I want to repeat, where custom tactics are currently at. Same with instructions. They feel assisted. My opponents turn into new players without doing anything manually. That should not be the case. These are added helpers, organics. It's like if you could dunk a basketball, you still need someone to throw you the alley-oop. That should be the tactics. Let's discuss. Let's take a deeper dive. Elephant in the room. You now have build-up play, chance creation. They have split or dissected. They have a parallel with offensive customization. Build-up play is all about how your team performs when in possession of the ball. That is what build-up means. And you have 4 tactics in that section. Balanced, slow build-up, long ball, fast build-up. Balanced, I don't need to explain. Long ball, we've also experienced that firsthand. Slow build-up is gonna be one of those tactics that's supposed to give you some sort of connection to the old school Barcelona-esque, that tiki-taka, a lot of short passing. The gameplay will dictate if there's any relevancy or if that's meta. And even though I've used plenty of fast build-up in my lifetime, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan. And it's not because of what happens offensively. And let me know if you've experienced this. All of you should say yes. When your opposition plays fast build-up, not only are his offensive players making runs, but the positioning of your midfielders and your defenders shifts, which would never happen in real life. On the actual pitch, because my opponent goes more aggressive, it does not make my back line higher up the pitch. Logically speaking, that makes no sense. Why would I commit more bodies? I'm ahead. I'm winning the game. That has to shift. Needs to be corrected. Chance creation is how your team will attack the opponent in their half and how you create goals. Self-explanatory in many regards. Balanced and possession, we should all be aligned or familiar. We've had previous discussions. I've rarely ever seen possession used with effective consistency. And then we have 2 new ones. We have direct passing and forward runs. Now with direct passing, we could call this the Jamie Vardy. Once the team enters the attacking zone while in possession, players create chances by making runs in behind. You're looking for that final pass or the through ball. Strikers who are fast with good attacking positioning. Attributes are well suited for this tactic. Relatively straightforward. And then when you see forward runs, you already know that's going to go with long ball. And you have these deep outlets of people looking for those counterattacks that you hate, that I hate, that we hate. Followed by explosive sprints and the super knock-on. The new attacking tactics can be combined to create 16 distinct attacking tactics, each with their own benefits and styles of play. As long as we've toned them down, tactics are fine. Options, we co-sign. I want different forms of expression. That was the offense. Let's move to the defense. More tactics and instruction customization. The biggest change is perhaps this adjustment now where you have depth and width sliders that range from 1 to 100. And I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, there will be some sort of glitch found with a certain number that just completely shifts the way that your defenders and midfielders move and they groove and where they step and where they sit. I'm calling it right now. You can save this, clip it, wrap it up, rewind it, verbatim. I know the competitive scene. Folks will figure out how to abuse this and what works best. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Free roam instructions for CDMs allow for deep lying playmaker role, coming closer to support the ball handler and also dropping deeper. I'm not sure that I'm that sold on the free roam. Step up instructions for the center backs or the full backs I find interesting because you could create a much more aggressive and frantic and just a havoc approach to playing the game. Even more so if it's a secondary setup and you're chasing a game where now you have more risk, hopefully for more reward, or of course there's more space in behind you. But if multiple players are on the step up tactic to go with having a constant pressure or pressure on heavy touch, there's going to be a lot of movement. And the devil advocate in me right here in my FIFA heart raises an eyebrow, raises a question. If I've got all this movement that's automated, how much am I doing manually? Just food for thought. Overlap instructions for center backs if you're playing a 3 or the 5 at the back. This is gonna be somehow utilized and absolutely shift the game. Up to this point, we really haven't seen or witnessed firsthand center backs or defenders getting involved in the attack to this degree, where they are automated in terms of the trigger of getting forward. Before, you would have to do it where you selected them, and it's not natural. It doesn't really have that synergy. But in real life, especially if you're going for it, you will see center backs step into space, make the penetrating pass, have that early look, especially if you have technically gifted center backs. I've always felt players such as David Luiz, for example, often criticized for some of the defensive mistakes, but I think he's bored because of his offensive capabilities and attributes and characteristics. He'd fall asleep back there from time to time. But the point I'm making, you get another offensive weapon, a contributor, an asset, deeper match analysis. And you might question, why is this relevant to offensive or defensive tactics? Because you're getting more information. You know how many tackles you're making. You know the shots or the expected goals, the interceptions, and just different details in terms of success rates, more measurables. And more measurables plays a huge factor into tactical percentages and adjustments that are necessary and they're needed. Often we have tunnel vision when we're in a game and we don't realize every misstep or mishap. Therefore, not allowing progression or proper reviewing of gameplay from time to time, unless you watch back everything that's happening. Example, we now have possession, but it's not as simple as just you had 60-40. You can see the breakdown, the alignment between minutes. I'm a FIFA nerd. I love this. Same with shot selection and also the type of shot that you're implementing. This is huge information. Many of us have asked for this. You've made the request. Game changing. It will tell you so much about what you're doing well, where you're excelling, and allow you to have self-improvement. Thanks again for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to drop a like, share it around the community. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really feel that the additional information is going to be game-changing. And then from a tactical scenario, or really trying to break down what's happening with custom tactics, it does come down to balance, and then how much is manual and how much is automated or assisted. There has to be some give and take, because in my personal biased opinion, which I suppose every opinion would have a level of being biased, since EA's gone hard with some of the custom tactics, they're overtaking and they're doing too much. They're shifting the gameplay completely, even if your opposition's really not at that level. If you don't have the micromanaging capability, there should not be a tactic that bails you out. Just my personal opinion. But I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.